Welcome to Age of Radio Mercury. I forgot what the name of the show was already, Trey. I was like, what show are we on right now? Mercury by Age of Radio. You're on for podcasting and pop culture news. My name is Jeremy Quintanilla, and this is my trusty sidekick, creator, Trey. And if you're new to this show, this is a show all about everything that's going on in podcasting as best as we can figure out, and also stuff that's pop culture related. So I hope that you have been enjoying this show. And I'm so sorry that we were not here last week. I was in Las Vegas with one of my other businesses, 3T Warrior Academy. And we couldn't do the show because we were doing another show at exactly the same time, essentially during the Friday time that we do. And I wouldn't have been able to get over to where I could do this show specifically. But I'm super excited because we have a great show in store. We're going to be talking about OnlyFans. Isn't that exciting, Trey? First time we're going to be talking. We'll go deep into OnlyFans on this show today. That's exciting. In fact, John over here, I could do OnlyFans from my computer to make up the income I need to survive in the Philippines. And only I know what the hell John's talking about because I know him outside of here. As a regular comment, that's freaking crazy. What's he talking about? But we're going to talk about OnlyFans getting into podcasting. We're going to talk about Sony's bid to purchase from Blackstone some of Justin Bieber and Neil Young's catalog. We're also going to talk about GameStop's bid to purchase eBay. So I'm really excited for where the show is headed for today because we have other news as well. But to kick us off, Trey, how was your week? What did you do on Friday because we weren't doing this specific show?
I honestly don't remember what I was doing on Friday. I think just watching all of the coverage from Las Vegas was about all I was doing. I didn't do a lot.
Yeah, those streams came through pretty good, huh?
Yes, they did. They came through fantastic.
Yeah, that's using that director. It's called Director on Magwell. And so finally me and Dustin know what the hell we're doing. So I'm excited for the next time that we do more stuff for Age of Radio because we're going to be at Phoenix Fan Fusion. We're going to do a live show from some of Phoenix Fan Fusion this year in June. And also I'm going to be doing a podcasting or how to get started in podcasting panel, which I don't know. I feel like I would have thought that people in the gaming and the geek community would be really into podcasting at like people that are at those conventions. And I've tried to do that panel before at UwuCon a couple of years ago, and it was horrible. Like I had one person in the audience. So I'm curious to see how this goes at Phoenix Fan Fusion. But I would have thought that a bunch of people would, maybe they like listening to podcasts, but they don't give a crap about doing podcasts.
That could be. Well, it's very creator centric. I think you might have better if you actually went to, like there are like cosplay, like Phoenix Fan Fusion and stuff like that is very cosplay oriented and like pop culture oriented. I feel like the podcasting is more of the creator sphere.
Absolutely. What are some cool anything? So you were nuking your computer, I heard before we started this show. What are you doing on your computer that it's so hot? Speaking of which, I should probably close down my Scribe. I don't know why Scribe is open. I have multiple PowerPoints open, probably taking up RAM. I have Zoom Workplace open for some reason. Well, I know why that's open because I was trying to get a link. But did you do anything fun last week as far as like Scriptate goes or coding or?
So I haven't done anything good on Scriptate. Speaking of Scriptate, version 2 coming this Monday. I have not gotten any complaints from the test flight, and as that is the case, Scriptate version 2 is going to be coming out, hopefully to Mac, but definitely to phone and iPad next Monday. Other than that, I don't have a lot going with Scriptate because I don't have a lot of other ideas for topics. But I had 2 Substack articles come out this week, and this entire like past week since Friday. Actually, I did do something on Friday. Now that I think about it, I tried to run an on-device AI agent on my computer, and that's what I've been doing today too. And I'm living dangerously because with the Gemma. Well, I'm not going to go into all of this stuff. I'm running local AI agents, a local meta search, and a local AI agent called Hermes. And it's got me probably at very low RAM when I'm using it. I turned it all off to do this so that I could do this fully and completely. Um, but like I've got like 20 gigabytes of RAM on my hard drive right now, and I touched my computer when I was getting everything ready and was like, oh, this is hot. So my poor Mac Mini isn't used to this. It's going, please help.
Yeah, absolutely. Trey, so what your local agents that you're running, what AI, like Hermes is an agent from another company, or where is that from?
So I've been going deep into this community for the past week. So there's this company called Nous Research, Nous. I can probably spelling it wrong. I think it might be French, but I'm not sure on that one. And they have this. It's like a OpenClaw from back a couple months ago. It's
Yep.
a self-learning agent that can either use Codex or Claude Code or half a dozen other things. But you can set it up to work with on-device AI models, and that's what I'm trying to do. Emphasis on trying, because I have not had a lot of luck.
Yeah, I started using. I finally signed up for Claude. The paid subscription was on my to-do list, and my executive assistant, she sends me out a list of all the stuff that's on my planner, and like for months now it says sign up for Claude for the paid subscription. And so I finally saw, I was like, okay, that'll take like a few moments. So I went and did that, and Coworks looks freaking awesome. I was like trying to connect it to Google. I was trying to connect it to Outlook. Outlook you can only do read. I connected it to my Instacart so I could have it do my grocery shopping for me, which was what I want to use artificial intelligence for. Like that's the stuff that excites me about artificial intelligence. When it comes to like writing, like I know that you use AI for writing, and it definitely helps, especially with being seeing impaired. But for me, I don't care about it doing generative, AI art. I don't care about it writing stuff for me. I want it to actually do mundane shit for me and make it my slave in that capacity, to be like, go and do this for me on the internet. Go and make this PowerPoint for me. Go and find me this research. Organize it in this capacity. Then turn it into a Word document. Send it over to my, Google. Share it with these people. That's where I get excited about AI. And I feel that so many people are stuck in the the things, stuck not realizing how more productive it can make them with AI.
I would agree with you.
Yeah, and Trey, it's NOUS research is what I have here. Open source
Yes,
AI.
that's it.
Did you hear any updates on Elon Musk's lawsuit against OpenAI or Sam Altman? I saw a little blurb that Sam Altman wasn't doing so well in court or something, but I don't know what's going on with it. Have you been following that?
Very little bit. Those one. Apparently, Sam Altman has he's a natural liar. Apparently, he's not telling everybody everything that they need to know, and so they're saying that he has this pattern of lying. That's about all I know from the actual court cases. One fun thing, Elon Musk is letting Claude use their Terminus or whatever their data center.
Terminus One, I think, is
Claude.
what they're using. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny that you're like very anti their AI until you want to make a buck because of the compute power that's needed. Or, I mean, also too, he could be doing that to like stick it to Sam Altman also.
That's my read.
Right. Also, and then on top of that too, like I know, again, as I was sharing on the New Wealth Transfer podcast, I don't always agree with like everything politically from an Elon Musk perspective, but from like a business aspect and from certain things that he does that he's trying to create inside of the world, like I do believe that he's a big advocate for AI, and he's a big advocate for AI being used responsibly. Or I don't think that he would have started OpenAI in the first place, because that was the whole purpose of the freaking nonprofit.
Right.
And I think while I think it is, some people might look at it as a dick move that he's doing to Sam Altman on this lawsuit thing, but I do feel that Sam Altman's going against what the true purpose of OpenAI was. And then secondly, there's a book by Karen Howe called Empire of AI, I believe. It's one of the top best-selling books right now. and if I have read like the first part of it, but it is a very huge critique on Sam Altman for a majority of it, and on the things that you're talking about, where he withholds information. He's always telling people what they want to hear to move for whatever his agenda is. Not saying that he's doing like super nefarious things. That's just the type of person that he seems to be. And I think because of that, it's misleading to people that are investing in AI.
Yeah,
or into OpenAI.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with it. It's definitely going to be interesting to see, because Sam Altman has been such a big part of the company. I remember people rioting when he got fired from the CEO position.
Mm-hmm. Well, the reason why he got fired from the CEO position was for the exact same thing that we're talking about right now, is because he was not presenting correct information on what was going on. And I think that that's one of the biggest problems with Sam Altman in general. Before we get into the news, Trey, I do want to mention, look, all my books are gone. I'm building a library in the Arizona room. I'm really excited about it. Oh, dang, Mario's here. Hey, what's up, Mario? He said, hey, everybody go follow Link with Mario. He also has a really cool YouTube channel and does live stuff, talks about cryptocurrency. And he is a partner of mine, or business partner of mine in businesses. So follow Mario. Love it. So I bought more tech stuff, Trey, last week. I think that the wealthier that I get, I tend to buy almost every tech thing that I see. But I do have Mario says that he does crypto and AI. And Mario's going like super hard into his AI doing stuff for him too. Like we were on a call the other day, Mario and I, earlier on the week for our business Merlin. And in the call, I forgot what he said, but I had said, Mario, can you make sure to do this? And he said, AI, did you hear that? Make sure to notate that I need to do this, this, and this, and mark it as important or something. Because his AI is then going back and taking that information and putting it into a way for him to, I guess, see what's happening.
I sure hope that that open source and on device gets to that point eventually, because that would be so flippin' cool.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing granola, but I'm not going to get into that. We've already spent a ton of time talking about AI. My apologies.
Yeah, and everybody yells at us when we talk about AI, but it's like the talk of the town now. But Trey, look what I bought. I bought a Remarkable. It's white paper. It's like a paper thing that I could take notes on. So while my AI is taking my notes inside of meetings, I'm also taking better notes. And then this has workflows where you can export things to Google. And then if you have other workflows, you can do stuff with those docs, and you can automatically put it into Miro. It's making me, I guess, a little bit more efficient than I was before. So
writing is just more mindful to a lot of people. Not to me so much, but a lot of people really love writing.
Yeah, I think for me, with the aspect of writing down the notes and things like that, helps me remember stuff. And rather than going back through my paper planner and trying to find the notes, I created notebooks for different things in here. And then when I want to go to that information, I can just go to the notebook and open up the information. But and it writes so realistic, Trey. It's crazy. Crazy.
I've heard people really love those.
Yeah, this one's really good. It writes in my, like, because it's on like the paper finishing, like it's a different type of finishing than like the glass that's on like Apple, because Apple writes really good with its pencil. This feels like you're actually writing very similar that you would be writing on like paper or something.
Yeah.
All right, Trey, you ready to get into this weird show of stuff that's going on? All right, this is the first one. I don't know where. Oh, here it is. So Sony is going to pay almost $4 billion for Bieber and Neil Young's catalog. Now, that part didn't like, I thought that was cool. Good for Justin Bieber. I don't know why he doesn't own more of his catalog. And this is one of the things that I hate about the music industry in general, the amount of ownership that the musicians have for their actual catalog. I did not realize this, though, but do you know who owned the catalog? Like, do you know who owns his catalog right now?
No, who?
Okay, so you would think that it would be like another music company or something along those lines. It's flipping Blackstone. The investment company.
There are too many Blackstone.
So Blackstone is where BlackRock came from. So Larry Fink, if I'm not mistaken, either worked with or started Blackstone also. I think it's Blackstone. But nonetheless, that's weird to me that a fund, like an investment company, I guess it's not super weird. I guess an investment company owns other businesses, and that one of those businesses could own this specific catalog. But that just tells you how much of the world is owned by BlackRock and Blackstone. That's ridiculous. So Sony Music is finally finalizing a deal to acquire a music catalog from Blackstone Inc. that includes works of Justin Bieber and Neil Young. The deal is to acquire Recognition Music Group. So they own the music group that has the part of the catalog or the entire catalog, right? Which either owns or manages the rights for more than 45,000 songs. And it's through a joint venture with the Singaporean Sovereign Wealth Fund, GIC. Sony and Blackstone are trying to close the deal within the next week, with GIC to pay between $3.5 billion and $4 billion for Recognition. So again, Sony's trying to buy this musical piece from Blackstone. So either Blackstone's divesting in it, or Sony went in with a really hard bid because to purchase the catalog. So my question, Trey, is: are you a big Justin Bieber fan? And did you know that he was up for Album of the Year this year?
I did not know he was up for Album of the Year this year. That's kind of crazy. I kind of not anything against him, but I kind of thought that he had fallen off of the fame scene a little bit.
Right, and then he came out with this amazing album that is like him with, like, he performed at the Grammys and he performed with just a guitar and a looper, like a looper station. So I mean, it's an okay song. It's not really like, I'm not a huge Justin Bieber fan, so I was like, okay, well, this is a cool song.
That's, I mean, good on the guy. It's crazy that you're right that these artists don't, like, the fact that these artists don't control it. It actually points to me, a lot of these guys are like not actually in it for music. Like, they're in it for music, but they're not. Like, I think that, like, Justin Bieber in particular was less, I'm gonna make music, and more, hey, that guy looks like he could be a good talent. I'm a talent scout. I'm going to go talk to this guy and take all of his stuff.
Well, that's what happens, because what they're trying to do is, like, it's not in the essence, and Mario here put baby, baby, oh, I probably sung that horribly off key. I don't give a shit. But I think that that's what it is, because music's a business, right? And that's why musicians get so taken advantage of, in my opinion, is because a lot of musicians are out there for the musicianship of it. They're trying to do that. But then you have someone who wants to make $1 off of them. So then they take them and then they get them to make a bunch of money. And then they end up owning the rights. Like 360 deals in the music industry is the most ridiculous thing that I've ever heard of, right? Because the way that it traditionally works is like a music company is going to go and say, okay, look, Trey, you have a real sound. We're going to pay you $100,000. We want you to go make an album. Once you make that album, you don't get anything from the making of that album until we get our $100,000 back. And not only to get our $100,000 back, we're going to have you sign a 360 deal, which means that if you go out on tour, we get that part of that money. If you go out and you sell any like merchandise, we get a part of that money, and we take pieces of all of this until we make our $100,000 back. Like I'm fine with the music companies getting their money back, right? Like in some context, but again, you should still have a majority of the piece of that go to the musician, and you just get residuals off of it to get your money back. And then once you get your money back, then you get a smaller residual amount, and then the artist owns the majority of their catalog, right? That's the thing that I think that so many musicians get into such a terrible position because of this, and it's ridiculous.
I completely agree with you. I'm actually really glad. Oh, sorry.
Not a musician?
No, I was going to say I'm really glad. I was going to say I'm really glad that we've gotten this so democratized that we can have people like Connor Price and stuff like that who are like their own album type deal. I'm glad that that's more common now.
Right. And that's what's so cool about SoundCloud. What I find, and I could be wrong on this because there could be other type of SoundCloud companies out there. That's why I think SoundCloud has the right kind of idea, but there doesn't seem to be anybody else who's trying to follow suit with giving that power back into people being upload their music to an app and people being able to hear it, right? And I'm also confused why it's like music groups haven't gone hardcore, and then maybe they haven't, I don't know, hardcore towards like SoundCloud to get like to own it, to then find younger talent and then I don't know, take advantage of them from there. But Mario said that Gala Music was trying to solve this by giving more to the artist. If you guys don't know, Gala Music is a cryptocurrency project that does gaming and music and movies, and you can own a portion of their. You can buy a gnat flew into my mouth. Trey, a gnat flew into my mouth. I don't know what's happening. I think I swallowed him. Oh my god, that poor guy. Poor me. Both of us, poor us's. We put a bunch of plants in the house, and there's like 9,000 gnats in the house. We got a gnat problem up in here, but looks really nice outside in the other room. Really excited. All right, moving from music to games. Trey, did you see that GameStop made a bid for eBay this week? I saw that come across on my notifications, and I was like, what the hell is happening? Why is GameStop trying to purchase eBay? And do they even have... I thought it was $43 billion. This article says it was for $56 billion. Do they even have $56 billion to be able to go and try to do a bid for eBay? Mind you, I think eBay owns PayPal, if I'm not mistaken.
Does it?
I think that eBay is the owner of PayPal currently. Oh, let me look it up real quick.
Maybe it is. I think based on this article, they do not have the money.
Right. And that's where we're going to go. Hold on. Oh, no, they bought it in 2002, but they separated in 2015. So it wasn't crazy. At some point, eBay did have PayPal. Okay, because I think that's when Elon Musk and them made a majority of their second initial wealth, because then like that's where the PayPal mafia concept came from, that had Elon Musk, and I can't remember anybody else's name that was a part of that. Peter Thiel maybe was a part of that. And then from there, that's when Musk probably went and started SpaceX and so forth, and then conned his way into owning Tesla, which we're not going to get into that. But according to this, GameStop Ryan Cohen announced that he was selling a bunch of stuff on eBay to try to fund the Funko Pop store's proposed $56 billion bid for the online reseller site. The stunt follows criticisms that the executive doesn't have enough cash to actually make the acquisition, but it appears that at least some of the items being auctioned could be remnants looted from the legendary Game Informer vault, where the long-running publication housed decades of video game history before GameStop shut down the publication in 2024. And I'm not sure about this, but I thought Game Informer was still around. I keep getting ads on my Instagram to like invest in ads on Game Informer. So did they revitalize that? Or maybe they didn't shut their ads down? Or
I think the people behind it decided to start it up again as something that is separate from why can I not think of the name?
From GameStop. And so again, this is from Frank Cifaldi. I'm 100% positive these listings are from the legendary Game Informer vault being strip mined for memes, in case you need an excuse to throw up today. Now, that being said, I don't think that GameStop's purchasing of eBay is a bad idea. From my understanding, GameStop has really been focusing on the merchandise that's inside of the store, like the Funko Pops, trading card games, that type of merchandise, like figurines. So I don't think that that's too far off, because if GameStop buys eBay, then they could become one big online retailer auction site, right? And I think that could be maybe something that could be more beneficial for GameStop.
It would also combine GameStop's electronic used market with eBay's electronic used market, which is a lot stronger. Which I think it's a very good idea. Although I do I do a little bit resent the fact that GameStop is just inching further and further away from being a video game store.
Well, I don't think the long-term strategy of GameStop is to be a video game store anymore. I think they're focused more on just being a retailer of merchandise that is somewhat related to gaming. Or to geek culture or nerd culture.
I'm pretty sure that the CEO mentioned that at some point, so I think you're right.
Yeah. But either way, Frank Cifaldi is the founder of Video Game History Foundation, and he's accusing Cohen of selling off items from the vault. And again, it could have just been a stunt to get publicity on this, like to get momentum. Like if we know anything, GameStop, like people that are in love with GameStop, they're all about momentum and pushing it. And I think that he's utilizing that as a tactic to get more publicity in regards to their bid for eBay. But I don't think eBay would sell. Do you?
I don't think they have any intention of selling, but that's a pretty, like, I don't know what their valuation is. I don't know if he's selling above or at bidding above or below their valuation. So so as a strategy, I could see reasons to maybe combine, mainly from the GameStop side, but maybe sometimes from eBay too. Again, retail traded in used games, used electronics, that sort of thing. GameStop has a slightly better. Well, I guess it's about. eBay's probably better in some ways, but you get the idea.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to find here, and I'm not signed into my Wall Street Journal account, or I think when I had a fraud on one of my business accounts that was paying for all of my like financial subscriptions. And so I need to get back into my Wall Street Journal account or pay for the subscription. So I can't see this full article, but what I can see here is that, and I didn't know this, but it looks like GameStop already has a 5% stake in eBay. So I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but that could be a majority stake in total from all of the eBay stock, depending on, who has that stock. So they're offering $125 a share in cash and in stock for the company. So I think that this might be like, I don't know if this is just for publicity to push everything, because right now GameStop's selling for $26 a share. eBay's selling for $114 a share. So they're offering it above the value. Well, at the time of this news article, I guess I should say, was selling at $114 a share. So 125 would have been over the share price. So eBay could possibly take that, depending on whatever eBay's sentiment is. That would be crazy if this ends up going through, and then GameStop is now the new proud owner of eBay. From before that weird GameStop thing happened, they were close to going under. Right, that would be a ridiculous, crazy ass turnaround of a company, especially a company like GameStop.
Would be insane.
All right. Well, Trey, I was going to do OnlyFans for breaking news, but we'll save OnlyFans for podcasting news. I do want to talk a little bit about this. We're going to talk a little bit more about AI, but New York lawmakers push AI disclosure rules. With the use of artificial intelligence expanding in the creation of content, a New York lawmaker is proposing new standards that would make it clear when AI is used in any published news content. The bill would require news organizations operating specifically in New York to disclose to journalists and media professionals how and when AI is used in the workplace, and that all news stories, articles, audio, visuals, or images created by AI must be first reviewed by a human employee with editorial control before publication. What are your thoughts on this?
When I first read that article, I thought that it was trying to make something huge, and I was going to go, this is going to be way too hard for them to, the good old rule versus management thing. But this is actually really good. In my opinion, this is going to put a little bit more of an onus on media companies, especially in New York, telling them, hey, if you're going to use this, hey, you got to have it reviewed. Hey, you got to have it disclosed, which is going to make people vet their sources a little bit more clearly and add to a little bit less of, just posting crazy stuff. I think this is a good thing, actually. Because news articles, unlike social media, are controlled more than social media is.
Yeah, absolutely. Sponsors of the New York Fundamental Artificial Intelligence Requirements in News Act, or Fair News Act, say they're working to create common sense guidelines that protect consumers from the unintended consequences of AI. I am in support of this specifically. The thing that I think is where this is one of those things where I do think as this grows, this needs to be a federal mandated law rather than a state by state case law. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because then, depending on where you're getting the news coverage from and where it's at, is going to depend on what's required in each state for what they need to do for the AI content.
That's true. I do have to say, so one, I actually completely agree with you. This probably does need to be some sort of federalized laws, excepting, like, New York has some of the most popular article or news producers in the world, or in the United States anyway.
That's true. I think they have Bloomberg's is located there as well. I think New York Times is located there. You also have things like NASDAQ. I mean, if NASDAQ's putting out news on something, I mean, is that considered a news organization, even though it's an exchange house? But anyway, I know this says news organizations, but continue.
I was going to say there's also the Wall Street Journal. The only thing that I could see people kind of
pushing back Wall Street Journal. I totally forgot. That's where I was getting an article from. Yes, absolutely. The Wall Street Journal.
The only thing I could see people maybe pushing back on is the slippery slope thing, where if it starts with here, it can go to here, to here, to here, to here. I don't think that. I think that this is a really good thing, and I think it's needed, is what I'll end on.
Right. I agree. I 100% think it's needed. I was going to try to pull up this clip because I just thought about it, but there's a clip of a gentleman, I don't know who it is, but he's asking Claude on whether or not Claude thought that it should be part of Project Maven, which was, I forgot, I think that Maven was the project that ended up having the bombing of the Tehran Children's School or whatever, where those children were killed in that bombing on accident. And Claude gives a really interesting take on his position in that, where it's weird. It's a really weird conversation. But Claude, the app, says that it doesn't think that it should be part in these things because it doesn't hold to its full mission, which is fine. Then the person that prompted the question goes further to ask further and asks, like, well, how does Claude feel that it should be, involved in decision making as far as AI goes? And essentially what Claude says, and I'm paraphrasing here, Claude said that the problem with him, or AI in general, is that we create pass-by information through AI and assume that because that information's coming from the artificial intelligence, that the information is true, or because it's making a recommendation means that should be the proper recommendation that should be happening for humankind, or from the perspective of the person that's asking the prompt. Which presents an interesting thing, is that should we even be relying on artificial intelligence for advice in that capacity, or does it mean that we should be asking for advice, getting the advice, but then we should be weighing out that advice with other research that we do on ourselves, which I thought was pretty interesting from an AI take.
That is actually fascinating.
Right. And I think that one of the things Claude recently started hiring, or Anthropic recently started hiring, like, ethics and moral philosophers, I guess, or PhDs in philosophy, to help weigh and for help to get the algorithms and the AI language model, I'm assuming, the AI understand morals and ethics, which I think is very interesting. And so I know that right now we don't think that AI is to the point where it can kill all of us, but I think that we're headed in the direction where it possibly could be, that it is becoming its own consciousness.
Okay. I'm going to do a quick non sequitur here and a bit of a plug. I apologize.
And a plug.
A bit of a plug. I put up an article last week called "You Can't Replace What's Alive." My entire thing of the article is, one, you cannot replace a human life. There is no replacement of it. A lot of people use like business context and like jobs and stuff like that, and there is some of that stuff, but you're not replacing anybody. I think that word is off, but even if you could replace, I think that consciousness is a life force thing. So I don't think, and I go through this in my article, I don't think that you're ever going to get an AI that has a consciousness because there is no life force in it. And that's just my opinion.
Right. But what are we utilizing in that? And we don't have to go super deep into this, Trey. It would be a fun conversation for another time, or if we have a Mercury podcast, even though people would consider this a Mercury podcast. But if what constitutes the life force?
I think, and this is going into belief and stuff like that, I think it's souls. I think it is souls. Even for like animals and plants and stuff, I think it's like life force. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a very interesting conversation and probably too deep for what we're doing right here on this show. But I'd love to talk to you more about that at a later time. Trey, that being said, if you guys click this QR code, nope, it's over here. This QR code right here, you can go over to Trey's Substack and check out Creator Trey Substack. Is that where the article is at that you're talking about, sir?
Yes.
All right. Well, with that, before we get into some OnlyFans news, Trey, what do we have going on in the Age of Radio community?
Awesome. So I need to get back on track with trivia questions. I have not been doing a trivia question for a while. I'll make a promise here. I will have a trivia question up Monday. I will put it up on Monday.
Okay.
In all seriousness, I'm going to try and do it. And then secondly, anime roundtable time. If you enjoy talking about anime, whether it's shonen, whether it's manga, manhwa, anything like that, this upcoming Tuesday is the second Tuesday of the month, and it's our anime roundtable where we get together on Discord and we talk about what we're watching. Jeremy, I need to get back with you on that show you recommended to me because I cannot remember what it's called and I still need to watch it.
Magic Knight Ray Earth?
That might have been it, yeah.
Yeah, Magic Knight Ray Earth is freaking sick, but it's super old. I love it when I'm watching older anime, right? And then Ariana comes in the room, my niece who still lives here. When she comes in the room and she's like, the animation's so horrible back then. That's so weird to me because now it's like super digitized, and like the way that like the animations work now is different, where you can see a distinct difference in the animation from like 2000, 1999, the 80s, and then to where it's at today. It's completely different. So make sure that you check that out. If you head on over to ageofradio.com, you can click this link right here. You should be able to get into our Discord. I'm not sure if that link still works, and I'm not going to push it live on air in case it doesn't. But Mercury is brought to you by Age of Radio. We are a podcast. We are a media company that has the Age of Radio podcast network, where we help independent podcasters distribute, monetize, and grow their shows. And we have some new shows that are on the network right now. We are about to launch the Balanced Wellness. Dang it. This was a horrible plug. I forgot the new show. It's by the creators of Stress Test. They're bringing a brand new show still around wellness. It's Balanced Wellness. Wellness Alert. Everybody should, I don't know, join the network and then yell at me for not remembering any of the shows. But we have some other great shows on here as well. The Come Up Method podcast is brand new. MMS Inspirational is brand new. We also have Guard the Trust, which isn't up here yet, but it's down here. If you want to look at dealing with issues from a biblical perspective, we are all about freedom of speech at the Age of Radio Podcast Network. So you're more than welcome to learn about joining. And if you want to learn about joining the podcast network and what we are all about, we are actually having a webinar tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Arizona time. And I'm going to go over what it means to be a part of the podcast network, how the podcast network works. And we're going to be doing that every couple of weeks so that anybody that's on here, you can join that live webinar and you can learn about the benefits of being part of our growing podcast network. And before I move on from that, let me go find the link to the registration page. It's probably going to be a really big link, and it is. If you want to click on this here, you can go and register. It will be tomorrow morning, and would love to have you come in, ask questions for you to understand and know about the podcast network. Because again, we take care of all the distribution, we take care of the fees for the distribution, we work to grow the show, and then we of course help to work to monetize it, and we do that all for free. We just use a revenue splitting model from the revenue that we create. So we're one of the fastest growing podcast networks, and our downloads are going up and up every single month. And I'm excited to see where we are at. And there's also the New Wealth Transfer podcast, which is actually on the Age of Radio podcast network. You can get that show anywhere now. We're catching up on all the episodes, and then new episodes will be out on Spotify and everywhere you get your podcast after we go live on the 3T Warrior Academy YouTube channel. So make sure that you come and hang out in that webinar tomorrow. Trey, are you still doing Maker's Remarks? Is that going to happen again? What's going on with that?
I don't know, man. I haven't really.
It's a lot.
Thinking about it.
It's a lot of energy and a lot of work.
Yeah, I'd like to bring it back at some point. I just don't know when. I know I promised earlier this year, but I don't know. Sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize. But I do want to know, Trey, would you ever start an OnlyFans?
No.
And here's the thing about OnlyFans. I think that we have taken the concept of OnlyFans and we have completely associated it with pornography. And I don't know if that's really... Obviously, there's a higher portion of it being pornographic, but essentially it's kind of just like Patreon, in my opinion, except it has looser rules as it relates to pornography. Is that fair, or is it just pornography now?
So there are people who are using it kind of like Patreon. It is primarily like nude pics and pornography. That's what you see a lot of people using it for. I've never touched the site. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. I hope this turns out well for them, but yeah, maybe this will get them out of that ditch, that area.
Trey, this is one of those weird situations where I'm going to hand the show over to you, and I want you to talk about OnlyFans for 5 minutes or something else, and I will be right back because something weird's happening outside. So hold on real quick. I'll be right back. It's all you.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe this is something. I hope that this is something that will allow them to kind of grow outside of their current bubble, because they really are just in that bubble. At least from what I've seen online. Maybe you guys can let me know in the chat if you've heard something else. But this is something that is kind of a trend recently. I remember Patreon doing something like this not that long ago. I think that the creator market is going to get more and more intertwined and more connected as we go. And a lot of these tools are going to become, for instance, Substack is now doing podcasts, it's now doing video, it's now doing live streams. I think that that's going to continue to grow as we move forward with this stuff. I do not have a lot more to say on this subject. If you guys want to come and check out our anime, I've already forgotten the anime that Jeremy recommended to me. I think it's Magic Knight something or other.
Trey, you did a great job. I have no idea what a bunch of meat just got delivered to my house. I don't even know if anybody bought meat for that house. So I'm glad that I checked the door, or all that stuff would have completely went to shit.
Bad.
Yeah, this show is crazy weird because people watch it and some weird stuff happens on this show. All right, so Trey, did you talk about how you're starting an OnlyFans? What happened while I was gone?
I was talking about how I hope this does get them out of their rut. I think that this is something that we have seen as a bit of a trend because I remember Patreon getting into this and Substack is getting into this and now this. So I think that this is something that's been kind of growing throughout these types of platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. I do feel that as well. OnlyFans CEO Kelly Blair announced a new podcast content edition at the Online Marketing Rockstars Festival in Hamburg this week. OnlyFans has announced it would add new community pages, also focus on comedy and sports. And the new podcast focus page is designed to give further exposure to hosts and creators, including the comedy, relationship, sex, motherhood, and career podcast, Tiger Mom with Geo Ying Summers, the Dating, Sex, and Relationships podcast, Boyfriend Material with Harry Jousey, and the Mid Mind Shift podcast, Billion Dollar Baby, hosted by serial entrepreneur Tara Electra. And Trey, I just recently saw in Discord earlier this week that our good friends, the Cruises, they had a live show, and you jumped into that live show. And I have to give you props, sir, because I know that that's not content that you would ever be participating in. So, what were your thoughts on their content?
So I'm not even gonna lie. I hope that they do well. I didn't stay for I literally came in. They were talking about something anime or
That you don't want to say online what they were talking about.
No, it's not that. I literally wasn't there to actually get through. I was like, I hopped in there. They were talking about something, and I went, "Oh, this is interesting." And then I hopped out again.
Yeah, JR and Jasmine. No, JR and Jasmine. Yeah, Jasmine Cruz. Yeah. So they're adult stars, adult 18 and plus stars, and they have a podcast on our 18 plus side of Age Radio because again, I'm very for free speech and people being able to have conversations. That's the thing that I love about America for the most part, and also one of the things that I love about podcasting is everybody can have a voice as long as they're not inciting people to do stupid shit and kill people. So as long as those things don't happen, I'm on board with any type of pod content. So I think that that's really cool. This is also really cool. Captivate launches Apple Podcast Video. So if you guys have been listening to the show for a while, we've been talking about this move. Apple, you've always, for a while now, you've been able to add videos onto Apple Podcasts. Okay. But the problem is you had to do it separately. Oh, I didn't need to change the, hold on. Let me just go here real quick. No, that's okay. I didn't change it. I was just talking about it. So essentially it was that Apple, you could go in and launch the video from Apple, right, from their side, and it would do the video on your podcast. But now they're starting to make it where now video is more an actual podcast, because now on certain platforms, Apple has partnerships with them like Captivate now, where they can go on and you can actually upload the MP4 on Captivate and it will push it through to your feed on Apple Podcasts. Megaphone has been doing the same thing for Spotify. So like, for example, we're going to be pushing this out on Spotify here soon. After I finish getting all the new wealth transfer podcast updated and set up, we'll be having our Mercury feed where you can also listen to our X Spaces. Those X Spaces will not be going onto the YouTube. You can go to the full audio feed or follow on Spotify. And we're working on how we can get it onto Apple Podcasts, because you can't distribute to Apple Podcasts from, say, Megaphone or from Spotify for podcasters. And so podcast hosting company Captivate has unveiled its Apple Podcast video support. Their pricing model is a flat $12 a month add-on for up to 1,000 video plays. Additional bandwidth costs are charged over that number. Captivate isn't yet supporting the alternate enclosure. And again, that's where one of the problems why being a part of Age Radio Podcast Network made sense for a lot of people in the beginning is because a lot of the times with these, it takes bandwidth or it takes storage capacity to have all this stuff uploaded onto a platform. So this is a perfect example where when we move to being able to do something like this, or we find a better alternative than Captivate at a lower price for like a larger organization, joining our network might make sense, because you can get out of paying that flat $12 a month fee. And it's up to only 1,000 video plays, which I thought was a little weird. Because if you really go hardcore and you have over 1,000 video plays, I wonder what the pricing model goes to.
Yeah, that's going to be pricey.
Let's see here. Apple Podcasts now let your audience switch between video and audio without skipping a beat. Spotify does the same thing. 3 quick and easy steps. Publish video with Apple Video Podcasts in minutes. Grab the add-on. Set You Should Safeguard. Start publishing video episodes. I do think that more and more podcasts, though, that are just audio focused, unless they're like, unless to that thing where we were talking about it was just a radio show that you just record and put out there. I do think that podcasts should have a video component. And I also think video component podcasts should have an audio component as well, because you reach different people from their listening medium and where they want to be. Where I know that some people think that the same content should be everywhere, but to me, it doesn't make sense for, our X Spaces to be on our YouTube when you can go and listen to it, all of it in an audio format, especially since X Spaces is an audio format. It makes sense for it to be on a Mercury feed, and then we can do other audio focused formatted stuff, and you guys can come to here for the video stuff. I don't know. That's just my thought. Trey, what are your thoughts?
My thought is this, I'm really glad that more companies, and there were I was hoping that they would kind of talk about it. There were multiple companies this week who all were like, yeah, let's jump on this train. And I'm really happy for that, especially because of, I'm assuming that the Spotify thing is going to be our next article.
I can make the Spotify. Wait, where's the Spotify thing? Oh, yep, I can do the Spotify thing. I have it right here. We can do that as our next article. Yep.
Okay. Their thing makes me think that we don't even want to, until we decide to move to another platform, if we decide to do that, we don't even want to do video on Spotify because of this next article.
Good. I'm glad that I read that article and know what the hell we're talking about. I did not, because we have so much content that we're making. So I'm really excited to find out what's going on as well, Trey. Thinking of using a podcast hosting company to upload video to Spotify? That ease of use comes with a big cost. We learned today you'll be forever locked into your current podcast hosting company, according to warnings given by Spotify in the sign-up process. This cannot be undone, says one checkbox on Spotify. Another points out that this permanently replaces your RSS feed with API-based distribution, repeating twice that this cannot be undone. That is a very good point, Trey.
Yeah.
Because it no longer is now an RSS feed. Well, it has to be in some way kind of an RSS feed because, well, it has to be in some context because you upload the MP4 to Megaphone, it pushes it out to Spotify vis-a-vis the API. Is it then distributing everywhere else vis-a-vis API? Because the show should still be going to everybody.
My understanding is that if you, because some of these also did video for Spotify, they rolled that out this week as well. So you get onto a platform.
Go ahead, Trey.
You get onto a platform, they send the RSS feed to Spotify. Spotify downloads the video and then puts it out as an API, and you can no longer downloads it. There's no redirect. It's literally, here's your API, and if you want to change your thing, you're in trouble.
No, that part's true. That part I can see, but it's only from a Spotify-based perspective. It's not from the RSS feed going to iHeartRadio to all of those other places. So if you distribute the video from your podcast to Spotify with their new system, which I do on Age of Jeremy, your podcast on Spotify is now severed from your RSS feed and has to be managed exclusively from the hosting platform, right? So you run into the same problem if you're on another platform and you want your video to be on Spotify, because again, we haven't really created an RSS feed distribution for video. And I feel like technology needs to move in that direction for us to be able to RSS feed push video out on multiple different platforms. So the way that I understand this, Trey, is that it's severed specifically from Spotify, but you can still redirect vis-a-vis iHeartRadio, Deezer, JioSaavn, Amazon, and so forth. You just lose the redirect from Spotify.
Correct, but that also means that if you have a different thing, then you have to set up a brand new API. You don't get to continue your podcast from that thing. Also, quick point, what Apple's doing is video over RSS. That HLS is essentially like it's using HTML type stuff, but it is RSS still.
Right, but no, it is RSS feed. But what has to happen is what I'm trying to get at, though, is that there isn't a mechanism. It's from the feed to the platform. It's not the RSS feed to every platform. Does that make sense? Kind of like what I'm saying, because the difference is that if video podcast was a full RSS feed the way audio podcasts are, is me and you should be able to take our video, upload it to any platform, and on all platforms it will be sent out through video.
So I'm the way I understand it is if any other platform decides to adopt HLS, then it will also work on that platform.
Correct.
Believe this
that part's true. That part is true. Yes, I agree with you. It's just that the other places need to be able to have that thing happen, right? So that you can then go to like iHeart needs to set that up so that they can take video. Amazon has to set that up so they can take video. Once all of that happens, then you should be able to go to, say, Captivate, or to maybe not Spotify, because Spotify is going to make it Spotify centric as of right now, on, say, Art19 or on one of those other ones, push that up, and then all of it should start taking the video. So yes, you're correct, Trey.
Right.
Or I agree with you. I don't know if either of us are correct, but I agree with what you're saying is what I'm doing.
I get you.
Absolutely.
Mario put up a comment. I cannot read it. I don't know if it's relevant or not.
It says, Jeremy, once I decide what I'm doing with my content, I want to make it a podcast on Age of Radio for sure. And who wouldn't, because it's free, except for in this weird Spotify instance, where if you submit the Spotify video, you sever that feed on Spotify, and you'll always have to use Spotify for creators in some capacity. My guess is Spotify. Right now, I feel that Spotify is trying to do with podcasting what it did with Joe Rogan and try to specifically make it for their platform. I think that they will find out that that's stupid, and like they did with the Joe Rogan situation. And now they will eventually change some of this so that it can go out and be distributed, like you would be able to redirect that feed in some capacity. Or you could take that feed inside of, say, Megaphone, recreate it as an RSS feed, and then send that out.
Right.
Because Spotify, look, I think Spotify was a very big innovator in that space. But I finally got a Spotify account, a paid one, and I'm still not impressed with Spotify. And I think there's so many things that they could be doing way better. That's just my opinion.
One more hot take again. Spotify, you're not a platform. You're never going to be a platform.
Dang, Trey's calling him out. Just kidding. Go, Trey. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Trey.
You are a music and podcast distribution service, and that's literally, you're never going to get to the social medias or YouTubes or anything like that. And that's just my opinion.
And I agree with that opinion, as Spotify is our arch nemesis, even though we pay them tons and tons of money every single month and make them tons and tons of money every single month off of our podcast. That is 100% sure. All right. Pulitzer Board honors Pablo Torre, finds out with 2026 Audio Reporting Prize. Pulitzer Prize Board has awarded the staff of Pablo Torre Finds Out the 2026 prize for audio journalism for its investigation in how the Los Angeles Clippers seemingly evaded the NBA salary cap by funneling money to a star player. The judges calls the series of episodes a pioneering and entertaining form of live podcast journalism. Definitely going to check this out. I had not even heard of this. This sounds amazing. The show beat out two other finalists in the 2026 Pulitzer competition, including the New York Times limited run podcast, The Protocol, which is really good. I've heard some of that investigated youth gender medicine, exploring its origins and uses, helping to illuminate one of the most controversial issues under debate. And the Wall Street Journal's Camp Swamp Road, which uses archival audio to investigate a 2023 fatal shooting and the flawed implementation of stand your ground laws. Pablo Torre Finds Out, which is produced by Meadow Lark Media and licensed by The Athletic, discovered Clippers owner Steve Ballmer paid Kawhi Leonard millions more than was allowed by using a side company to give its star player $28 million in endorsement payments. It led the NBA to open an investigation into the team, which remains ongoing. The Clippers, Ballmer, and Leonard have denied the allegations. And this is one, in my opinion, one of the great things about podcasting is investigative journalism. And what's great about it too, even if you as an individual are out there and you're like, I want to go and do some research on it, you don't have to go and like do your own interviews and stuff. You can go through archived footage. You could have a story. You could talk about your thoughts on it. You could, I don't know. There's just so much stuff you can do with podcasting. And anybody nowadays can, if they have a phone and they have ability to record, they can distribute the content that they want to make and do the research that they want to make. But I think this sounds really cool. Trey, are you a fan of the Los Angeles Clippers? There's only one right answer to this question.
Until I read or heard this article, my response is the Who.
Yeah, I know. Good answer. That's right, Trey. The Who is the right answer. Not the band The Who, but who are the Los Angeles Clippers? Trey, do you have a Steam Deck? Or do you have Steam on your computer? Do you play Steam games?
No, I don't. Because I don't use a PC. And no, I do not have a Steam Deck because those things are expensive.
But,
also, I don't like computer gaming for the most part.
Why? Just because is it difficult to see? Is it the mouse? The way I mean, you can use a controller on some stuff, but why?
When I play a game, I want to play a game. I don't want to fiddle with drivers. That's why.
Dang, Mario just got a Steam Deck Plus. I didn't know you got a Steam Deck. That's ridiculous. Mario, when did you, what? You play on, what? I'm so confused about this. I did not know that he even had a Steam Deck. Oh my gosh, you learn something new every single day. Mario, I'm going to Trey, I'm going to send you a Steam Deck. I'm going to get a Steam Deck. We haven't even played with our Switch 2s together yet. We should probably focus on that before I go. But what was that, 2 years ago, I feel like? Or two Christmases ago?
It has definitely been a while. We should, one of these times we should, you still have a capture card, right?
Oh, Mario got a Stream Deck. He got his Stream Deck. That's the Elgato thing, which doesn't work on StreamYard very well, by the way. Elgato. Yeah, I get it. Mario, you should get a Steam Deck. Actually, Mario, you should get a Switch 2. In fact, everybody on here should get a Switch 2, and we should all play Switch 2 together. That's what should happen. Now I want to play Mario Kart later today. I don't know. Trey, are you still playing Legend of Zelda?
So yes and no. I still have been, but I've been playing. I wonder if I added this to one of the articles. I am playing Neverness to Everness right now.
What is Neverness to Everness?
Supernatural, GTA-like, because you get to explore a city, so everybody says it's GTA-like. Gotcha game. It's beautiful. It's a very beautiful game.
What is it on?
It's on everything. I think it's on PlayStation and Xbox, and I think it's on. I play it on iPad. So.
All right, we got to show Mario what a Steam Deck is. So Mario, do you know what Steam is? Like how would you explain what Steam is, Trey? Like a video game platform?
The best platform to buy games. Straight up.
Yeah, it's a video game buying platform. But rather than say like using it now from your hold on, let me just take this down. Hopefully my computer doesn't bug out here. My computer's acting amiss. It's acting a fool up in here. Oh yeah, okay. So Mario, you know what Steam is? Okay, cool. Mario said he knows what Steam is. So this is a Steam Deck. It's essentially like a portable deck that Steam made for you to play the games that are on Steam, right? Which is awesome. But they're like $800. Although I spent like $800 on my cool Remarkable writing pad. We're not sponsored by Remarkable, but if you guys go to Remarkable, you can find out that I bought this a week and a half ago, and yesterday they released a brand new fucking model. That's the reason why I hate technology so much. Spent $800 on this thing, and then they created a freaking remarkable move or something that just came out. But these are fantastic. I'm really excited. But I didn't show the thing. Hold on. I really want to get a Steam Deck, but you know how much I play video games, like 1 minute a year. All right, so your games everywhere, powerful portable PC gaming designed for comfort and a controller-like user experience. Look at this one, $649 for 1 terabyte. And they're all out of stock, so we can't even buy any if we wanted to, Trey. We're going to have to... But can't we access Steam on our Switches?
No.
We can't?
No.
Can't you access Steam? I thought you could get Steam. Can't you get Steam? Can't you access Steam on your Xbox?
If you have one of the Xboxes that run Windows, you can. If you don't have one of the Xbox, if you have like an Xbox One, you cannot.
I see. What's this? Then they have the Steam machine. Well, anyways, what were we talking about? I got completely off track. We're talking about Steam and the freaking auction people. What are those people called? Scalpers? Scalpers. What is scalpers problem? All right, hold on. Let me find this article. Hopefully, freaking Steam.
Dang controllers.
I know scalpers piss me off so freaking much because of this shit. Look, you have a $99 controller. A bunch of assholes go out there, buy up the $99 controller, so people like me and Trey can't have it, and then they go and sell them for $300 fucking dollars on eBay. That stuff frustrates the piss out of me so much. Valve Steam controller is, or at least was temporarily officially available. The long-awaited $99 controller sold out shortly after going live on Steam, and in turn spurred larger issues with purchases across the platform, as noted by users in the Steam controller pre-order megathread. Scalpers have quickly capitalized, with confirmed pre-orders relisted on eBay for $300. That's the stuff that pisses me off about the ability to do these things, and that's why it sucks. Where like someone like me, I was trying to buy Switches for everybody. I tried to buy a Switch for Trey. I bought a Switch for Joey. I bought a Switch. I feel like I bought a Switch for someone else. I bought a Switch for some other person. We gave a Switch away at Tucson Comic Con. I had to go to 9 different Best Buys to be able to buy 4 Switches. Not because the Best Buys didn't have them, because they only allowed you to buy a certain amount because of this stupid shit.
It really is a problem with the online market. How does that even, you know what? You know, it would be flipping awesome if Steam put something on there where you have to put in a certain like email address, and now everybody who bought a scalped controller is going to be, and it would just plunge these guys into so much.
That's actually a good idea, Trey. That would be a way to get around it. Absolutely. 100%. One of my favorite parts about Super Mario Galaxies, was that the name of the last movie that came out?
Yep.
Super Mario Galaxies was they introduced the Mario universe, I guess, the MCU, the Mario Cinematic Universe. Do you think that will become a thing? People will start saying MCU, and now people will be confused if you're talking about Marvel or if you're talking about Mario?
No, I think that it's going to be the MCU and the NCU, and people are going to go, are you talking about the Marvel one or the Nintendo one?
Oh, that could be. They could make it the Nintendo universe. But in that, they showed Star Fox, and I'm really excited because I think that they shouldn't have done Star Fox. And if you go listen to our X Spaces, which will be available on our Mercury podcast thread here once we get it up and running, that'll be the first thing that shows up, and then you'll start getting this show as well. I think they should have made it a different Star Fox character to not make it so much on the nose. I think that they should have used the O'Hare guy or the rabbit guy or maybe even the frog, and the frog got lost in space. But I think that what they were doing was they were setting it up for the Star Fox movie of him being in that area is what I think that they were doing.
I think you're
But nonetheless, right. During a surprise Nintendo Direct, legendary designer Shigeru Miyamoto and Yoshiaki Koizumi announced the Switch 2 remake of Star Fox 64. The news comes hot on the heels of Fox McCloud's appearance in the Super Mario Galaxies movie. All right, guys, let's go to this.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shigeru Miyamoto. Last month, we released the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which was enjoyed by many people around the world. To everyone who saw it in theaters, thank you very much. The movie features a certain character who isn't part of the Super Mario series.
Why is a princess trying to go to the most dangerous place in the galaxy?
Who are you?
Don't ask me personal questions.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't.
Fox McCloud! Leader of the legendary Star Fox team! I only care about three things: keeping the Lilat system safe, fighting with my buds, and doing extremely dangerous barrel rolls! Let's go! Then one day, I
Aileron rolls.
blew a giant hole in the fabric of space and time, and I got sucked into a different universe. That's what I get for making a frog my engineer. Now I roam your galaxy, trying to find a way home. Doing good, and the price is right. Oh, I also have cool space boots.
Now that's the backstory of the guy who's going to take us to the space junk galaxy.
That's right. The main character from the Star Fox series, Fox McCloud, makes an appearance. Now, Fox and his wingmen return in their own Nintendo Switch 2 game. This game is called Star Fox. And now, I'll pass it over to Koizumi-san. Koizumi-san.
Hello, everyone. I'm Yoshiaki Koizumi. From here on, I will be your host for this presentation. Star Fox is based on the Nintendo 64 game Star Fox 64, but the visuals have been completely updated. All of the characters in the game have also been redesigned. All right, let's take a look.
Excited, Trey. Nothing, I'll tell you afterwards.
Atmospheric entry complete. Extend the wings. G-diffuser systems check. Sound off, team.
Slippy here. So far, so good.
This is Peppy. All systems go.
Falco here. G-diffuser seems fine. Let's go already. Enemy targets up ahead. Let's rock and roll.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, Trey!
What you're seeing is footage of the game in action. While stage layouts have been kept the same, the visuals have received a major upgrade.
Slippy, stay in formation.
Banter between characters is also back.
Now you've done it, Slippy. Bogey on your tail.
Cover me while I fine-tune my sensors. Oh, you got him? Thanks, Fox.
We need your help, Star Fox.
Hey there, General. You seem a little on edge. But as it happens, my team's
This is Fox McCloud, leader of the Star Fox Mercenary Squad.
Prep the R-Wings. We've got a job to do, Star Fox. We're gonna take the system back from Andross. One planet at a time.
Falco Lombardi is their ace pilot and Fox's rival.
Fox would expect us to launch an assault there. You up for another challenge, Fox?
Scans are showing unidentified energy emanating from
Doesn't
within
love
Ito
Coach.
is the team's engineer extraordinaire. Incredible! Do you realize how rare it is to
This does
experience a stable
really
warp
good.
channel? Did you see the distortions?
That base is the gateway to the wider system, Fox.
And Peppy Hare is their strategic mastermind and veteran pilot.
It's into enemy space. Just this. Hit them quick and hit them hard.
The fate of the Lilat system rests squarely on their shoulders. The R-Wing is a high-performance aerospace fighter piloted by Fox and his crew. It's equipped with a laser. It can also fire charged shots or launch bombs that cover a wide area.
This is a 20-minute video, Trey.
The
I
R-Wing
probably
can
should
break
stop it at some point.
Yeah, we probably should.
boost
I was
to
gonna
a
say,
barrel roll to repel
Oh, I'm
enemy
gonna go
with random
further
players
into it.
from around the world. One of the joy your
Oh my
friends
gosh, you can play
online
with people around the world. Oh my god, I'm
or
so
match
excited.
up with random players from around the world, making for a variety of
We can
ways
play
to
together.
join team
We have to
battles.
get this game.
Plus, if one person has the game, up to 4 players can take to the skies locally with Game Share.
Oh my gosh, there's game share.
Supports character avatars, which let you change your face in game chat to look like a character. Our
Trey, I
Fox
can't hear you,
character.
but this is amazing. What is that? Why is Mario in here?
And join the battle in this platforms to see your new look. But this game also supports the Nintendo 64 controller. Those who played the Nintendo 64 version can enjoy controls that feel even closer to the original. Since its debut on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the Star Fox,
Whatever else he is.
I don't know when it comes out, Trey. Trey, when's it come
I
out?
think
When's the
it's
article
in-
say it comes out? Is
I
it
think
out
it's
now?
in
I'm going to go buy it.
June.
June! June 25th.
it's-
It's so far away. Right, I'm going to go pre-order
next-
it. And what's
Next
cool
month is gonna be a
if I got
busy
my
month.
shit together, I could roll in Rolly, my rollable television, connect it to the computer as a second screen, plug in my Switch 2, and we could play it on air together.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll work real well because we're so good at tech around these parts. Who's getting the remake of Star Fox? 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 what's a fox? Put it in the chat and see what's going on. All right, I'm so super excited about this. Trey, the thing's covering your face though. I don't know. You need to do a better job with some of these things, or I need to make some layout changes. I don't know. I'm still thinking of switching over to Streamlabs. StreamYard is making me angry. Trey, did you play Star Fox 64?
I have not.
Oh my gosh.
I have not played Star Fox. The only thing that I've played that's similar is the stuff from like the Gummy Ship in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts is dope. All right. You know what's also dope? Pop-Tarts.
Oh, this is such a silly article.
Oh my gosh. Trey, I can't find it. Oh, no,
Oh,
I found it.
no.
No, I found it. All right. Scalpers, those sons of bitches. Excuse my language again. Scalpers are the frippin' worst. Scalpers target Pokemon Pop-Tarts, selling them for 8 times their worth. I didn't even know there were freaking Pokemon Pop-Tarts because people don't let me eat Pop-Tarts because I'm a 45-year-old man and it pisses me off. Not pisses me off of eating Pop-Tarts. I love Pop-Tarts, and I think more people should eat Pop-Tarts. But Target stores are running a Pokemon merch promotion for the next few months, encompassing clothing, toys, makeup, lifestyle items, and more. And fans have predictably gone just a little overboard in their enthusiasm. In addition to lining them up outside stores and buying up lip balm like it's going extinct, some people are managing to make a little money by scalping one weird product in particular, Pokemon Pop-Tarts. Pokemon Pop-Tarts come in Pikachu emblazoned boxes of 12 delicious pastries. I added the delicious because I love Pop-Tarts. 6 wrapped packages, 2 each. They are frosted vanilla cupcake. These sound flipping amazing. Flavored and cost $2.89 per box. These snacks are proving quite popular. They just went on sale this last weekend, and a quick scan of stores in the area of this author reveals a maximum of 2 boxes may be available in a 40-mile radius of their house. At least some of their popularity appears to be due to a perception that this is the return of the retro snack from 25 years ago, which was the Pokemon Pop-Tarts of 2001. Pop-Tarts were Pokeberry, wild cherry flavored, and not frosted vanilla cupcake. I would love some frosted vanilla cupcakes. But it looks like where are the scalpers in all of this? For $3, you get a Pokemon-themed snack.
That means
Some people are not paying.
$21.
Some people are paying $10 to $14 or $20 a box. They're doing this on eBay, so people are buying these and selling them on eBay already.
That's
I wonder if the GameStop
so...
guy is involved with this. Maybe he is buying the Pop Tarts, and that's how he's going to raise the money for his bid for eBay by selling these Pop Tarts. So, GameStop CEO, if you're watching this, which I don't know why you'd be watching the show, but if you're watching this, go get those Pop Tarts, and maybe you can make that money that I don't think that you have the cash to do so. That's $56 billion. That's ridiculous. Wasn't X purchased for $40 billion?
Yes, I think it was $43 billion was X.
Yeah, and Elon didn't even have, I mean, he got the cash for, I don't know. Ridiculous. Trey, what is your favorite Pop-Tart, and do people let you eat Pop-Tarts?
I don't buy Pop-Tarts very often.
Damn it, Trey.
I love the cinnamon, oh, what was it called?
Oh, the brown cinnamon ones, or the cinnamon, brown
sugar.
Oh, those ones are great too. I really like the blueberry ones. In fact, anybody in the chat, remember, 1 for yes for getting Star Fox, 2 for no for Star Fox, and 3 for what's a fox. And now let me know if you like Pop-Tarts. What is your favorite Pop-Tart? Put it in the chat. I think my favorite's probably still blueberry. I'm gonna put blueberry just so we have some chat going on in here. I don't know.
So strawberry is actually my favorite fruit one. Fruit specifically, the frosted strawberry.
I got you. Trey, do you think the new CEO of Xbox is going to do a good job, or do you think that she's going to do a horrible job?
I think it's too early to tell. I think that she is definitely appearing to do a good job, and I think that what she's saying is definitely resonating with gamers, but it's really, I'm not saying it's like a co-op, as some people are saying, but I genuinely don't know. I feel like some people are not remembering what happened last year, and that's just my opinion.
Copilot, Microsoft's AI-powered assistant, has been a controversial feature for some, but it looks like it won't be introduced to Xbox consoles anymore. Microsoft gaming CEO Asha Sharma confirmed this pivot on X, citing a need to move faster, deepen our connection with the community, and address friction for both players and developers. In her post, Sharma states Copilot is also being dropped from mobile while announcing a leadership shakeup. We promoted leaders who helped build Xbox while also bringing in new voices to help push us forward. This balance is important as we get the business back on track. As part of this shift, you'll see us begin to retire features that don't align with where we're headed. We will begin winding down Copilot on mobile and will stop development of Copilot on console. This response to this announcement has been positive, especially since some players worried that Sharma, who previously served as the president of Microsoft's core AI product, would push for more AI integration into Xbox products. This move at least aligns with her previous statement addressing concerns about AI on Xbox, where she promised that games are and always will be art crafted by humans and created with the most innovative technology provided by us. Shara took over as Xbox CEO following the departure of former Xbox heads Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond in February, and has pledged a commitment to the return of Xbox and to understanding the Xbox ecosystem. So, Trey, do you think there's that Game Informer magazine thing I was talking about? Game Informer magazine. So someone restarted it apparently. Anyways, back to Xbox. Trey, Copilot. Yay or nay that we should have AI in video gaming consoles?
Nay. And I actually think that this is a good thing. I definitely think she's making good moves. I'm not saying anything against her. I wanted to put that out there. This is a good thing. AI is way too not ready for video games yet. At least it never used to be. It might be better now. When I tried to have ChatGPT give me like clues and stuff in gaming, that usually just ended up sending me in the wrong direction. So I think that this is a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the AI needs to be in there. I know that Xbox, did an article last year, I think, Trey, or maybe it was earlier this year. We've been doing the show for so long, some point in time. We talked about that there would be AI that was implemented into the gaming that could work like an assistant for you. My assessment is that that's what she's talking about in this capacity. And I don't think people gave a shit about that. I don't think that was things that gamers were interested in. I don't think they wanted assistance in that way. And I think one of the best parts about gaming is trying to figure it out for yourself or going through a bunch of manuals to try to figure it out from online tutorials. And I think that for right now, that's going to be the sentiment of getting through a video game.
I agree.
What is your favorite Avatar movie?
I don't have.
Good. You shouldn't have one, Trey. And that's the right answer because Avatar is stupid and it's just a ripoff of a movie called Ferngully the Last Rainforest. And I think whoever created Ferngully the Last Rainforest should sue James Cameron. That's what I think. Sorry. That's my assessment, Trey. You did a good job on that one.
I like the first one, but
God
I
damn
don't
it,
have a favorite.
Did you watch all three of them? I haven't watched the second or third one. Is there going to be a fourth one? How many are there now?
I believe there's supposed to be, and this is so silly, 7 of them.
Oh my God, that's even worse. This is the stupidest franchise in history.
I watched the first 2, but not the third one yet.
Oh. Ugh. I support this person in their lawsuit against James Cameron. A new lawsuit filed against filmmaker James Cameron and the Walt Disney Company alleges Cameron used the facial features of a then 14-year-old actor as the basis for one of the main characters in the Avatar films. The suit, which actors Koryanka Kilcher filed Tuesday, alleges that in 2005, when she was 14, Cameron extracted her facial features from a photograph of her portraying Pocahontas in the film The New World and directed his design team to use it as the foundation for the character of Neytiri, a release about the suit said. Now, I don't know if we need to go on. What do you think?
I
think
think
to be
this is a little
Pocahontas
bit-
on the right.
I guess there's. I think this is pretty far-fetched, personally, but
I agree. I don't think so, and I hate Avatar, but I hate to side with James Cameron on this specific topic, but I don't think that there's a case to be made for this, unless she can, hands down prove that there was a conversation where James Cameron said, "Here's a photo of this person. Go and make me a character for Avatar based off of this human being."
Yeah, I don't see it.
I didn't see it either. Kilcher is a native Peruvian actor and activist. I support those things, Peruvians and activists. Kilcher likeness was captured in production sketches, sculpted into maquettes, and laser scanned into high-resolution digital models. I don't know. It looks like he took a picture of his cat and then took out the whiskers, is what I think happened when he made this. Look at this.
Yeah,
This was the original. It looks like he was literally hanging out with his cat and was like, "Oh, I'm going to draw a picture of my cat." And then was like, "I wonder what my cat would look like if it was a human." And then it drew this picture. That's literally what this looks like to me. Trey, are you able to see this image very well?
I am. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. You can even see the nose, man.
Yeah, look, this is literally him hanging out with his fucking cat. I'm sure he has a cat somewhere around his house. They're hanging out one afternoon, and he's watching Ferngully. This is the way that I see it. I think he's watching Ferngully the Last Rainforest. Fantastic movie. And he's like, "Man, this is a great concept. I should make this exact same movie, but have it be with a human that becomes the creature rather than a human that shrinks in size and helps the forest creatures." And he's like, "Man, what could be my main creature?" And he's looking around. He's like, "Oh, my cat. I'm going to see what that looks like." So he draws a picture of the cat, takes off the whiskers, and says, "Man, I have $1 billion idea here." That's exactly what happened. That's what I think happened.
Do you think
I don't know.
he was
That's what I really think happened. What, Trey?
Do you think he was a little bit roasted?
I'm just so if you watch Ferngully the Last Rainforest, I've made this argument for years. 4 years. It's the exact same movie as Avatar. The only difference is that a man who gets shrunk or whatever, I can't remember exactly what happens, is that a military person becomes in the Avatar. There's even excuse my language, there's even a freaking tree that they all worship in the middle of the forest. And then at the end, all of the creatures of the forest fight off the invading construction company, which is exactly like the company that's trying to get the stuff inside of Avatar. It's the same flipping movie. And I will die on this hill. In fact, I will, one day, when I have time, we'll do a live. We'll watch them both. We'll watch Ferngully. We'll watch Avatar. It's the same exact movie. Yeah, but I think that's what happened. I don't think that she'll win this lawsuit. I don't buy it.
I don't think so.
Cat.
No.
100% a cat. All right, Trey. Well, it's 5 o'clock, sir. We had a good show. Thank you all the people that are on here live. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Also, be on the lookout wherever you get your podcast for the Mercury podcast feed. There will be other new cool content on there, and we're working on other fun on-demand content as well. And again, if you want to learn about joining the Age of Radio Podcast Network, make sure that you join in on the webinar tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. I'll be live going through how you can benefit from being on the Age of Radio Podcast Network and what it means to be on the Age of Radio Podcast Network. So like and share this with someone. Trey, I'll kick it over to you for last final thoughts, ideas, closings, calls to actions, rants about James Cameron, whatever you want to do, buddy. It's all you.
Love doing these. This is genuinely one of the best parts of my week. Really, so much fun. Whether it's the GameStop CEOs scalping Steam controllers and Pop-Tarts or all of the other stuff that we talk about. Join the Discord. Come talk to us about anime this Tuesday at 5:30 Arizona time. I believe it's 5:30 Arizona time. Event in the Discord. If you want to follow me, I'm on everywhere as Creator Trey, or you can go to my Substack and check out my recent articles. I am doing paid stuff specifically now. So if you guys find articles that you can't read, it comes out the following week. So that's just kind of a bonus for people who pay for the subscription. CreatorTrade.substack.com, and I will pass it back to you, Jeremy, because that's all.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Trey. I love doing these with you as well. My favorite day of the week is Friday, not because it's Friday, because I also work on Saturdays, but because the day I get to do the new Wealth Transfer podcast, and then now I get to do Mercury, and I'm trying to make it where I can just make content all day on Fridays, but we'll see how that goes because I have a lot of executive meetings and such as well. But this was a great show. You can follow me everywhere at Age of Jeremy. Join my broadcast channel, Dope Insights and Updates. I post about the things that I invested in there and all the other things that are going on. I also have a Substack now. It's called the Orange Robed Adventures, but I think you can find it under Age of Jeremy. And there's going to be additional different content on there. And if you're interested in the music and my art journey and music journey, you can follow me at 9. It's IX_AOJ for Age of Jeremy. So 9_AOJ. And I also have my Age of Jeremy podcast that comes out some Tuesdays during the month. It all depends on all the other stuff that we have going on, but you can join that as well and listen wherever you get your podcast. So with that, as I always say, be thankful, grateful, and kind, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.